All right, good morning, traders. Today is August 7th, 2023. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. Let's get started. Let's start off with the SPY. As you can see yesterday, big red day. Trading down here, not quite hitting the making new lows at 446.35 and finishing up at the low of day. So SPY currently, it's kind of questionable whether it's a low or high, but we have a pullback. SPY currently still in a daily uptrend, but on the hourly chart we have lower highs and lower lows, producing an hourly downtrend at this time. My SPY pivot is going to be 448.80. How I got that? Simply coming over here. This is where it marked off right there. 1, 2, 3. Above that, I'm a bull. Below that, I'm a bear. Now let's take a look at the QQQ. QQQ on the daily chart. Zoom in here. The 3 is underneath the T line. Trend indicator is now red. QQQ daily is in a downtrend with a lower high and a lower low. Hourly, we'll take a look at it. And on the hourly chart, we are in an hourly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows down here. Here's your lower high and your lower lows. IWM. IWM on the daily chart, still in an uptrend. Still making kind of higher high right here, and kind of an equal low right there on the IWM. So IWM daily still in an uptrend. Hourly, if you look at the hourly chart has higher lows and higher highs. So we have an hourly uptrend on IWM. Daily up, and the hourly is up. FNGU. Take a look at the FNGU on the daily chart. FNGU, the daily chart, still has not made lower lows. We have a lower high, but still no lower lows yet to be reported. So on the daily chart, we still remain in an uptrend, moving sideways. Looking at it on the hourly chart, we have made higher lows and higher highs. We're currently in an hourly uptrend. FNGU hourly uptrend, daily uptrend. Now let's take a look at the diamonds. So the diamonds on the daily chart, still in an uptrend. No lower highs, no lower lows yet. So diamonds still in an hourly daily uptrend. If we look at it on the hourly time frame, we do have lower highs and lower lows, and you can see the balance of power is red down here. So daily, we're in an hourly downtrend. Now, daily, we're in an uptrend. On the hourly, we're in a downtrend. Now, let's take a look at our T2122. T2122 shows us in the chop zone, quite near the 50-yard line. Almost, that's the midpoint. So it's in the middle of no man's land with a sharp move from the buy zone back to the chop zone. Notice we did make a higher low compared to this day right here. So we still have a higher low here. Chances are we kind of meander back up here and chop around for a little bit for today. T2123 on the 15-minute chart shows us red, well below the 17 period trend indicator. That's the EMA, 17 EMA. Shows us red with lots of space right there on the T2123. On the 3-bar chart, we're still holding green. Still things are looking good on T2123 3-bar chart. Now let's go back and take a look at the SPY to see if there's a moving average SPY might be headed for. So take a look at SPY, and you can see right here we have a rising 50 that is rising up to this area right here, which is our minor support. These two peaks are the minor support, and we have a rising 50. SPY has not hit the rising 50 in a while. I would expect SPY to hit the rising 50, kind of stall, and maybe bounce up and test the minor resistance on the daily chart back up here. Therefore producing the beginning of the right shoulder of a possible head and shoulders pattern. Here you can see we have a perfect, almost perfect left shoulder right here, a formation of a head. This would come down and set the right side of the neckline, and then we're looking for a right shoulder rollover right there for the SPY. Kind of give things a rest a little bit. Now if we look at this, we have a downtrend line that produced right through there. I think there's a good chance we're coming down here to hit the 50. We'll see what happens. That's just the daily chart right now. Now, what do we have for economic indicators? Here is our US dollar index. You can see we had the sharp sell-off on Friday, and we're trying to recover part of that today. So here's the US dollar, and this is on the six-hour chart of the US dollar index, gaining a little bit of strength again. You can see here it is, we put in higher lows and higher highs on the US dollar. On the bigger time frame, we're still underneath a trend line that, well, can't use that. That's underneath. You can see peak here, you got a peak here, a peak there, and a peak there. And you can see we're still in a downtrend on the weekly time frame right there. So now let's take a look at our earnings calendar, see what's on the deck for today. So let's take a look. Monday the 7th, Platner, which is on our list as a bullish, reports after the close. BioNTech reports this morning. Coterra reports this evening. It's quite light day for today. We do have multiple pages of, over 4 pages of earnings being reported today. So we'll see what happens there. These are the big ones that come to mind right now. For tomorrow, Eli Lilly, UPS, Duke Energy, Datadog's going to report tomorrow. Barrick Gold, Take-Two Software, that's a big one, and Rivian. So these are our big ones that are probably going to be reporting tomorrow, before or after close. Now we'll take a look at our economic calendar to see what kind of data we're going to have coming in. And let's refresh this. And you can see today, not much is happening. Tomorrow, international trade goods starts out at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Wednesday, petroleum status. The big one is Thursday, CPI, 8:30 in the morning, and jobless claims. We're going to get a double dose, and then we've got PPI, final demand, at 8:30. So that's where we're at. So now let's go take a look at some of our commodities. And here's UUP. This is our US dollar index on the daily chart. You can see we had a quite Little snap back here, and we're rising back up to challenge those highs. And we'll see how far we are based on the quad lines. So we're right back here at the midpoint on the UUP. That would be the US dollar index bullish fund. So there's UUP. Now let's take a look at UNG. Let's take a look at nat gas. I'm going to move to a different chart because the moving averages tend to mess it up. I'm going to hit it on the daily. And you can see on the daily time frame, we're still up, still hovering over the midpoint of the last move up. So here is our last move up, and we've started to consolidate over the midpoint. So we'll see if we're going to break down and challenge the lows one more time, or if we can find some energy to move back up. I would think with the falling dollar, it could move up, but with the rising dollar, not so sure if UNG is going to continue to stay above the midpoint here. So here we have UNG, really quite low prices here, offering really good deals. I don't know how much lower it can go. I'm certainly sure it could go to zero, but I don't really see that happening in the natural gas market. Let's take a look at USO. Here's crude oil. Crude oil is in a beautiful uptrend. I'd really like to see this cool off and produce a bull flag and probably rest for a couple of months here. It's getting a little bit ahead of itself, although it has been in this consolidation for about 2 months here. And you can see the longer the consolidation, the sharper the move to the upside or the downside. So you can see here's the consolidation and a move up. So crude oil in an uptrend. Let's take a look at gold and silver. So we'll look at gold. Gold still in a daily downtrend. If we drag our line right through here, in the middle of a wedge pattern, producing, let's see where we are. We're right back here at the midpoint. It did look like we were producing higher lows and higher highs, but now we seem to have a daily downtrend back underneath this trend line. And so gold is really struggling right here. Let's take a look at silver. If we go back to gold, you can see here we are with the daily. It's a daily downtrend, and if we look at it on the hourly, it's a downtrend too. Looks like it's turned around a little bit yesterday. Not really much. Still underneath this trend line here. Now let's take a look at silver. Silver on the daily chart, still above the slightly below the uptrend line. Possibility we get this, you've got a pause candle here. Possibility we get a rubber band effect to the upside back above the trend line. We'll see if that works out. If we look at the last move for silver, to me, I think that offers great opportunity right here, right now, today. I don't know if it's going to come down here and spike the top of this and then reverse back up. But you are at the midpoint of a nice pullback in silver with a possible uptrend. So silver offering lots of opportunity today. And if we look at it in the daily, making lower lows, lower highs. So we're in a daily downtrend, but still above the trend line, challenging the trend line. And if we look at it on the hourly, still in an hourly downtrend here for silver. So that's it, traders, for the morning wrap-up. And I will see everybody, I'll take a few questions here, and I will see everybody in about 45 minutes. Let me hit my recorder.